Good evening and welcome to the March 15th, 2021 Common Council of the City of Connersville. Let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilwoman Dinah Phillips.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hopkins.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and council members. Good evening. This afternoon, as I was preparing to come here this evening, I wanted to say something that might be encouraging to you. So I read an article by Paulo Coelho, and he said, whenever we strive to become better than we are, everything around us becomes better too. Words to live by. Let's pray. Father, I thank you for this council tonight. Thank you for all those that are attending. Thank you for their families who are sacrificing for their service to our community. We just lift up our mayor and the responsibilities that he feels upon his shoulders at times. When things are going right, he gets the praises. When they don't, then he feels the pressure. But nevertheless, he needs that strength to lead this council in a way that is not just for today, but for our future. And we just thank you for all that you do for us and the care that you have for us. As we advance into this meeting tonight, bless each one here in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, sir. Okay, I'd like to welcome everyone again, and please make sure that your cell phone ringers are in the off position. And we will begin with roll call.
Councilman Williams Jr.,
Present.
Councilman Phillips,
Present.
Councilman Robb,
Here.
Councilman Gray, Councilman Nutty,
Present.
Councilman Warner,
Here.
Councilman Barrett.
Thank you. Everyone has the minutes to March 1st, 2021 regular meeting. Are there any additions or corrections to that?
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. We on down to new business. We have silver reimbursements. What's your pleasure here?
Take A through K together.
A through K,
That's-
all reimbursements or IC code transfers. Couldn't remember the IC code part. So, is there any questions on those?
K is approval for $250,000, right?
Yes, it's a transfer from the restricted MVH going to a matching fund
Is that for what?
for paving of the roads.
Of all the roads, or?
I don't think 250,000 will pay for
I
all the
understand
roads.
that, but I mean, it's not just classified in one road, right?
No, it is a fund to pay for any paving out of, to match any grants.
Is this the same one for the J, I believe?
J is out of local road and street fund, and K is out of MVH restricted.
But they do the same thing?
They do the same thing.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Good to know.
If not, I'll turn a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you. Motion carried. And letter, item I, or I'm sorry, L, the approval of pending ordinance 3646, creation of airport investment fund. Rosemary?
It's creating a fund to be able to invest the airport's rental fees.
Questions?
Is that to increase?
I'm sorry?
Is that to
Increase.
increase funds?
No, it is creating the fund to be able to invest, because right now they have a fund where we put all the rents and receivables in.
Okay.
This will be invested into Trust Indiana. And so it'll be able to monitor all their
but there's no increase in rental fees, right, in this?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? If not, I entertain a motion to approve on first reading.
So,
Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, same sign. And a motion to suspend the rules.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. And a motion for third and final reading.
Motion.
We have a motion and a second.
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much. Move on down to the department reports. Fire Chief Jones.
Good evening. We'll start off with the overtime for the month of February. As you can see, it did go down. I did still have a couple guys on sick leave, but the vacations were less. So I did have a few vacations that caused some shortages, but we did have a couple fire call-ins. And I have everybody back now, so hopefully everybody stays healthy and we can take care of that overtime for this. You might have any questions over that. The monthly reports look a little bit different. There's several in there. I'm using the new software now, and those were kind of just some quick reports that it offers. I'm working on some custom reports to try to put some more information, probably maybe on one sheet instead of having so many sheets, but that's some of the information, the monthly run reports, and some of the information that I got out of the new software. The other packet was a kind of a year in review for 2020, just going over all the things we got accomplished. I'm not going to go through that whole packet, but
Talk about some of your training you guys do, because you do a lot of training. I don't think everyone really understands. Like some people saw some pictures on Facebook of a house. It looked like you were doing some training on how they do that.
yeah, we do daily training each shift. Now that I got Assistant Chief Stevens, he kind of oversees the training, and all three shifts try to train on the same thing, at a time, which it's a lot better coordination than what we had before. But the C shift has the new guys that we're putting in through the firefighter 1 and 2 course right now. So there's specific things we're working on. We worked on ladders the one day. We posted the pictures, and then did some search and rescue another day. But we try to keep all three shifts doing, the same thing 3 days in a row, and just keep everything organized. But, we do daily training for the most part. So.
I did see a picture of you all geared up, working on doing some training yourself, just showing them how to do it. That's a good thing to
I
see.
don't mind getting out there, doing some training along with them. So, yeah, it's fun. I still like to train, so, it's...
Lead by example.
That's right. It was good to see.
Yes.
This is during your working time, right?
Yes. Yes. I take a little bit of break from all this stuff I'm printing out for you guys and go put my gear on, do some training, so. But are there any questions on any of the stuff in your packet?
I think I saw part of that, I was in the vicinity of 7th and Western. A few days ago, we drove by there, and I thought, oh, they've got to be training, because,
Yeah, the house, Shane Golf owns that house, and he gives us permission to go in there and train, which is really nice. A lot of times we'll smoke up the whole house with some smoke machines and, do some, that's about as close as you can come without doing a live burn.
I kind of thought when I went by and one firefighter was holding the other firefighter, I thought, that's got to be training, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, they were doing rescue.
Rescue, yeah, I thought
the
that's what it
second
was,
story,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
I have one other question. You have several buildings, or I'm assuming several buildings that are fire watch.
Don't now. We're done.
They're all done?
We're done with the fire watch.
Thank you.
Okay, Brad.
Howdy. And did anybody have any questions about the transfer station, street department, or utility report? Did anything in any of those two groundbreaking, so.
I have one.
Okay.
On the trash report, you have collected 48,000 and change. And it says billed 53,000 and change. Can you explain to me what the difference is?
Are you looking at, what report are you looking at?
The trash report, where it says by month.
Oh, that one.
Online?
Yeah, I don't see that one. Yeah, this would be more, Rosemary maybe could tell us what that's.
I mean, you bill everything, but you don't always collect, everybody doesn't always pay everything.
That's
So
what I was assuming.
that's the deficit.
So, is there a process that we're collecting on those?
Per Indiana state statute, we can only put liens on the sewer fees.
Right.
And yes, there are liens on past due.
So, is the rest of it absorbed by the city?
Eventually we get caught up, or
Most of it gets collected eventually.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions?
I wanted to tell you about a couple other things though. We just got the date set this afternoon on March the 30th at 6:30 PM at the Miller Building. We'll have a public meeting about the downtown sidewalk project to explain the project to the merchants, people downtown in particular that might have questions about how it's all gonna be sequenced and scheduled.
Time again?
6:30,
6:30.
yeah.
Is that gonna be televised too?
No, we haven't
Will that be on
talked about that yet. We just got the meeting date set today, I don't know whether that's something. We'll talk about it. But, we're gonna let all the merchants know by letter, and we'll probably walk down through there
We're
and
gonna
try
walk around too.
to let all of them know, so everybody will have a chance to understand what's happening. So anybody in the public that wants to come will sort of social distance up there like we did at the last meeting, public meeting. The other thing I wanted to tell you, I mentioned at the Board of Works today, the yard waste program will start, and the big trash item pickup will restart on the 31st, which is Wednesday for yard waste, and on the 1st for big item trash. Call 825-1421 and schedule a pickup if you're gonna do either of those, and you need to call by noon the day before, and that'll continue like that all summer.
Every Wednesday and Thursday.
Yep, I'll put those announcements on Facebook and get them in the paper here next week or so too.
Call by noon the day before, you said?
It all worked pretty good last year. I think everybody was happy with it. And we're not just driving up and down the streets looking for
Calls look
stuff.
good.
Go straight to the houses, saves a lot of time.
Is it still one item at a time for the large pickup?
For free, so that's a
Right,
free
for
thing
free.
that we're offering, so.
Is there a restriction on that?
No free on items. But other than that, if you wrap your mattresses in some kind of a bag to make it safe for the guys to pick up, then we'll even pick those up. So they wrap them in saran wrap and all kinds of stuff so far. The last thing I wanted to tell you about was, I wanted to mention the street lights. They look awful. I know that they look bad. We're working on what to do about that. We've been having discussions. I've got two people that have promised to give me quotes on what it would take to rebuild them sort of like they are now, and probably do about half as many
Brad, which streetlights are you talking about?
on Park Road.
Okay, streetlights could be on,
Park
Vine
Road
Street.
streetlights. And
Are they-
we're supposed to have a couple of quotes by the end of this week, so we might have an idea what it might cost. We have a donor that'll donate the first 10,000. It could cost literally 75,000. We've talked about solar, all kinds of different stuff, so you'll be hearing more about it. I'm just warning you.
The
Is that
whole
gonna be-
electric has to be redone.
Yeah, that's the main problem with it, is the grid to that whole system up there. Comes from about 4 or 5 different places, and it's just fell apart.
Is that gonna be the same quality or better?
Better than the last. I don't want to talk poorly about anybody, but
I understand that.
it wasn't meant for the long haul. They did a great job. Maybe we can reuse the fixture, or the posts.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to do, but.
Weren't those plastic also?
No, I think they're sort of an iron,
Are they?
Pot metal kind of
yeah.
thing.
They're thin, and everybody says the vibration of the road and everything just shakes those fixtures till they quit working. So, I'll be talking to you about it more when we get some prices, but I just want everybody to know that, I know they look terrible, and we are keeping, moving forward on it, so.
Thank you.
We are going to be, just so council knows, if you want to come, you can. I just can't invite everybody because I can only have so many council. So if you want to come, let me know, but we're going to be demoing 3 different products for pothole repair. Thanks to Clarence, did some major research on this. I'm excited about a couple of them. I think it's going to work out great. We just don't want to repair potholes every year. We want to find a way to repair them and make sure they last longer and don't always come back. Secondly, I've had a concern about our new our new paving where it butts up against our old paving. And the concrete road, that's where it's called a cold joint. And that's where they always break down because water seeps in there. No matter how we seal them, the tar is still bad. So we got a new product I think is going to work really well on those.
I think that'll fix it.
I think that will solve that problem and just make our paving last a lot longer. So we're going to be trying demoing some of this week. So if you see us out or if you want to attend, let me know. I know Clarence will be there, so.
I got an email from the gentleman from the first product. I don't know if you want to mention names or
Not right now.
but he was asking about an order.
Already?
Yeah.
Tell me we haven't used this product yet. I mean, we'll see how it holds up.
He was under the assumption that we was going to use it when I talked to him,
Yeah,
but he didn't realize it was like 0 here.
yeah. Some of it, we have to heat the asphalt to get it the right temperature, which we're gonna do. Some of it we don't, but we just wanna see which, we're gonna put it in specific locations so we can monitor them and watch them to see how they work. It might be even a combination of a couple products, so. I'm excited about it. I think it's gonna be very good for us.
I think the 3 of them is probably the top of the line for the city of Connersville to use.
Yep, I agree.
So put them in a similar situation so you
Yeah.
can compare them.
So we can compare them.
It's
Yep.
just different. Some of them need to be used differently for different applications. The one he's talking about was covering a lot of different areas.
So if you wanna be part of that, just let me know. Again, we're gonna have so many. So just, if you wanna be part of that, let me know.
Thank you, Clarence, for doing that.
It's no problem. Glad to do it.
Okay, Catherine.
Hi,
Hello.
good to see you guys. You might not remember today, but it did warm up recently. The parks are open again, all the bathrooms are open, Smalley's is open. So everything is kind of getting back toward the vibe of summer. I did want to let you guys know about our Easter egg hunt coming up on April 1st. It's at 5:30 at the park by the pavilion. It's the one where it's for 1 through 10-year-olds. They all come out and grab their Easter eggs if you guys want to come. I did want to share a couple things with you. The first thing is you can see our new billboards. This one is coming out of Liberty on 27 toward town, advertising our baseball leagues. And then we have a second one that is on 40, right before you turn on Pennville Road, advertising soccer. And I really like this one because it shows our local league. The baseball is just a stock image because we didn't have baseball yet, or images from baseball, but so this is where we're headed with these billboards. We're trying to attract some of the surrounding counties to come and utilize our activities. And that's thanks to a grant from tourism. So the other thing I want to talk to you about is Longwood Bridge. We had it evaluated. They finished on Tuesday. They were out here on Monday and Tuesday looking at the bridge. The people that are working on it, his name is Will Truax. His job title is Bridge Right. He's one of 2 that is still in the United States. All he does is he travels the country and he looks at Kennedy bridges. This is all he works on. So I would call him an expert in his field. Our first step was we worked with Tim O'Rourke here in town, who did new blueprints of the bridge, or maybe the only existing set of blueprints on the bridge. And then Tim connected me with Mike Wingler, who runs a construction company out of College Corner. So this team is who I'm talking about. What you're looking at right here is the northwest corner of the bridge. This is the most trouble spot. What they have determined is the bridge will fall. They give it no more than 5 years, and it's more than likely going to fall in this corner first, and then it will collapse from there. So as you can see, these two beams here, those should be connected into the stone, and you can see where they have rotted out and they are no longer holding the bridge up. You can see the beam on the left. I don't know if you can see all the way under there. It's dark, but there's actually nothing there between the wood and the ground. And go to the next one. So this is the southwest corner of the bridge, and this is showing you what it should look like. So you can see those two beams that come all the way down and are supporting the bridge. This isn't even ideal because it's wood against stone, which causes a moisture issue, invites termites and other critters and insects into the wood, but at least there's wood there supporting the bridge. I'll come up here and show you. This is showing you this piece here. This is showing you underneath the bridge there's beams that go across all the way the length of the bridge, and this little piece here actually is holding that beam in place. Do you have one that looks really similar to that one? This one. So, in like a dozen spots under the bridge you can see here, that piece is missing. So there's nothing that is holding those beams tight under the bridge. We don't know if those pieces were lost during transport, if it just was never reconstructed properly, or if people have, for some reason, taken them, but there's lots of them missing. There's also lots of pieces missing on this hardware all along under the bridge. So the guys actually went out to Rushville and looked at their bridges to look at what we need to rebuild these pieces properly. I think there's a couple more of that corner. Oh, and this is a close-up of that corner. This is the northwest corner from inside underneath the bridge. So you can see where this is just, there's nothing there. So the beams on the outside are rotted and not touching, and the beam coming down on the inside is just totally gone. This here is actually falling off the beam on the top, and that beam runs the whole length of the bridge. So there's lots of problems. Fortunately, he said that it's not as bad as he was anticipating, but we do have lots of issues to address. The plan is to jack the bridge up. They'll have to remove at least 5 feet of siding off each of the sides of the bridge to get to the underneath where they need to repair. All those abutments will be taken out and redone. The bridge will actually sit a few feet higher when they're finished. And they are also suggesting adding windows to, which is actually typical of Kennedy bridges. The windows would hopefully decrease vandalism as well as let some light and sunshine inside. We're looking at probably $250,000 is what they ballparked. And we will receive a written estimate and assessment here in the next couple of weeks. But just wanted to bring everybody up to speed and answer any questions about the bridge, if you have any.
Do you have any grants for the 250,000?
We're looking, but no, not right now.
Yeah, you're very beginning stages, aren't you, of
Yeah,
getting this
right.
done?
Yeah.
That's something that's gonna have to be done. You're gonna lose the bridge.
Yeah. It's good that we have a very, I feel like we finally have a very good idea of what we need to do to fix it and what exactly is wrong with it. And finally a real number to work with, so, not the number I wanted, but,
Is this person quoting that he would do the, would oversee the work?
yeah, he
And then-
would. He would actually, he's actually living in California right now, working on a bridge, so he would probably have to relocate here and work on the bridge until he finished it. That's just kind of what he does.
And this amount includes his fee,
I would think so, yeah. I haven't gotten the written
right,
thing yet, but,
but it should include, okay.
Would we be able to use local labor for some of this?
yeah, we've actually, Mike Wingler has been working with a local stonemason, on the abutment portion of it. So I know that part would be coming locally, but yeah, we could look into that, but
But would,
You've already used a local engineer, so, right?
I would think that, I don't know, but this is taking it outside the box. What about Amish workers?
I've been working on this since I started here. I asked 2 Amish contractors out, never heard back from either one of them. Now, maybe they would be happy to do the labor part without actually evaluating the problems, but yeah, I never heard back from either of those places.
I know you've worked hard on this, Catherine, so
Yeah.
like you say, since the
Yeah, you
beginning.
know, 'cause you're,
Yeah, on the historical part of it, so I know you've done a lot of frustration with.
Hey,
it's
Clarence.
taken since I started in May to get this far, and I know we had COVID, but it feels like it's been slow.
Well, it sounds like you got a guy that knows what he's doing.
Right.
We do,
We
yes.
went kind of,
We
we
found the
went
right
around the
people,
thing too many times.
definitely.
Hey Clarence, we got Jaleesa working on trying to find, there's some different, we don't know if it's possibility or not, but some different historic organizations throughout the state who, since this is a rarity, there's not too many Candy Bridges left, and I wish I knew that number, how many there were, but they're just, we don't know. Somebody does, but I don't. But due to the historical nature, of it, just thinking that maybe we can try to get one of these outside groups to help look into funding some of this to preserve it. But we don't know the answer yet, we just found this information out.
I know a couple Amish builders, the reason why I asked that question. The last work I've seen from them, they do marvelous work, so I would have to get in touch with them again, because I don't have their numbers. If you want that to happen.
Thank you.
On another note, I'm glad to see Movies in the Park will be this summer.
Yes, I feel like the park's finally back.
Yeah.
Like, we went through, like that second warm day, driving through and everybody was out and we've got our disc golf up. We don't have all the signs up yet, but the baskets are out.
I noticed that too, yeah.
I mean, it was packed, it was great. So, and Movies in the Park are gonna start in, baseball, opens on May 1st. I think that's the first Saturday in May, is opening day for baseball. We're gonna have a movie down at the ball fields. That'll be the first movie, and then every Friday night in June and every Friday night in September.
The
And
other
that's
question,
also thanks to tourism.
the other question I had was the billboards, you said those were donated,
It was a grant from tourism.
From the tourism board.
so we can only get 2 billboards?
I have 2 up, for 3 months. Yeah, they're like $350
I
a
realize
time
that.
a month, yeah.
Okay.
Catherine, is all the movies in the park gonna be at Babe Ruth?
No, we're just gonna do one down there. I'd like to do one out at Frazee to show off our new shelter. But I haven't quite looked into all the electric issues. But most of them will be at Roberts Park.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the movie screen is from tourism also,
And the projector.
and the projector.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
Great job. Mr. McCreary.
Good evening, council.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hopefully you had time to look over the monthly report. Is there any questions on that? Just a few things that we're doing in the department. We have one officer that's been going to the academy since last year. Not that he had problems, but due to COVID, it got reset, he got sent home. He's due to finish up next month, get another officer on the road. That should help out with some overtime. It had dropped significantly this month, but it should help out. We wanted to stress, again, we've been having a few more issues with people running the school bus stop arms. Not as bad as they were last year, but some of them are just blatant running stop signs. And please keep an eye out for that. We don't need anybody getting hit or causing issues with that. And the last thing is, we had purchased some police cars last month. You'll be glad to know that we've got all of those on the road, and we've only got one Crown Vic left. That is a road car. Everything else has been upgraded, and the guys are happy. Nice cars. Hopefully we can get the other one replaced soon. We'll be getting a few of them ready for the auction this spring at Coons. So if you're interested in vehicles, be looking for that to come out. Also, and the last thing, a couple months ago we touched on getting emails sent for the ordinance, or printouts instead of the ordinance to be put in the packets.
Right.
Bear with us on that. Our ordinance enforcer has been off on sick leave several times recently, and we've got some things in the works, so but bear with us, and those will be forthcoming.
They'll be bigger before long because of.
Yes.
Yeah, season.
Yeah, we're getting ramped up for that now.
Yeah.
That was the other thing I was gonna say. Took care of it.
The email version.
Thanks for the phone call earlier.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. John?
For the month of February, we had 9 hours, 5 minutes of meeting production, 20 hours, 32 minutes of original production. Most of that, of course, was our coverage of the Spartan basketball, both boys and girls. Home and away, we did all those games live, pretty much every game in the season. Of course, that was in order to provide coverage, not just for Connorsville, for those who couldn't attend the games, but also the visiting teams, so that they would be allowed to see the games as well.
Do you ever get information from those school systems?
Yeah, we'd always call their athletic directors as well as tag them when the stream went live so that it could be shared. And it's surprising how quickly it gets shared. So we'll share it once and just explodes. One of the new programs that we just launched is in cooperation with the Extension Office, and it's called Extension Kitchen. It's a cooking show where the Health and Human Services Director, Rhonda Friend, who is the host of the show, has a guest each month, and they'll come on and cook something in the studio, and then that will air every Wednesday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. I can show you when I go to sit down what the opening of the program looks like, so you can get an idea of what the camera shots look like on it, which is pretty unique. We've got the ability to get right on top of the food that they're cooking. I think it looks pretty good.
What was the side benefit of that?
Well, since they're cooking in the studio, they have to leave the food there.
Oh, awesome.
Now, that's both a blessing and a curse. The show that we have on air right now was the gluten-free turkey taco burritos. Those were awesome. I really enjoyed those. They were pretty spicy, but they also created some things that I wasn't too excited about, but I tried anyway. So.
Thanks for the invite, by the way. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Anybody get one?
I know.
Ah!
Maybe next time.
Oh,
He's talking about all this good food, and he doesn't tell us about it.
Yes. So typically, we'll, like I said, we'll get that on once a month. We'll be producing a program. So for the first episode, we actually shot 3 in one day. So we had some interesting food that we created. So But I do encourage you to check that out. Like I said, it's every Wednesday through Friday at 4:30 p.m. And of course, it's on the local TV3 YouTube channel.
So is that one episode per month?
Yes.
And it's reshown that many times?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
That gives everybody a chance to see it.
Right.
Before he plays that, we have a very unique opportunity here with TV3 and a great service.
Great.
And their partnership with the schools is phenomenal. I didn't realize, I'm gonna be very careful, I don't wanna throw any other program or network under the bus. And I watched a different network that tries to do what John does with some sporting events. It was horrible. I mean, for what, I always knew that TV3 did a fantastic job, but it made me appreciate what we have even more, because they are phenomenal what they do. Especially you got the instant replay, and you're using students, which is not easy to do.
No, it's a challenge because it changes every year.
It
And we have to
changes.
start over and retrain them again.
But their quality is phenomenal, and it's just a great service that we have. I appreciate it a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
And your new equipment's helped a little bit, hasn't
It has actually. I mean, here especially, but you'll see, when I show you this, you'll see some cameras overhead. That's one of the pieces of new equipment
Great.
that allows us to do that. So,
Do you ever hear from former students who've helped you, where they are today, if they are in camera or
they
video?
actually have. I know of one that's out in California working in film now. Some are in different careers and stuff, but for the most part, I don't hear from them anymore because they're out in the industry and they're very busy. So, but some of them have done very well. Of course, a lot of that had to do with CHS Today, Joe Milwaukee's program as well. And that is carrying forward, in the cooperation that we have really encourages the kids to get into media and understand it. And really, once they've gone through everything that we have to offer, they'll get into college, they're ready to run the program. So it's very encouraging.
Or their own YouTube channel?
Yeah, they could do that. Some of them already are.
John, what's the possibility of putting this on satellite? Like
Satellite?
dish
No,
or
it's
or
not.
direct?
Well, I could, there's a lot there.
I
The easy
understand.
answer is no, it's not possible. But the reason why is the difficult part. For starters, we are a cable channel, paid for by cable franchise fees only. The satellite companies don't participate in that. They are a direct to the customer via, of course, satellite. In order to get on the satellites, they have to want the programming. They don't actually provide local programming. They provide regional local programming. So for instance, if you were in town and you were on DirecTV, you might get a Cincinnati package, they might give you a Dayton package, they might give you a combination of Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Dayton, but usually you don't have a choice in that. They'll just pick what they call local, and they'll give you channels out of Cincinnati or whatever they deem closer. And it may not be something you even want, but they're a prepackaged deal. And they have really no interest in providing anything hyper-local like we provide, simply because it's too costly for them to mess with.
I see.
Which is why we reached out and created the YouTube channel, because we know that there's people out there that can't get it, especially out in the county, and we wanted to give them equal opportunity, especially with sporting events, to be able to see that. So everything we produce, we're putting out on our YouTube channel, and it's growing astronomically all the time, which is great. But yeah, it would be great if we could be on satellite, especially if they pay for it.
Well, that's not gonna happen.
No, probably not.
Because it'd have to be the other way around for them.
Yeah.
Ownership.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yes.
As I go over, I'll go ahead and play the intro for you in just a few seconds. And that's the program.
That's quality.
Pretty quick.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Chief Harden.
Good evening. I'm last, so I'll be brief.
Or I should have a copy of my report. I said earlier in the day, apparently there's just not a lot goes on during February. So didn't have a lot of extras to report. Call volume's always a little bit down in February because you have a shortened month, 3 days shorter, so February is always a little bit of a bit. So on my written, on the narrative portion, you see we continue to try to recruit and hire for open positions. It's an uphill battle, not only regionally, statewide, national, that there is a paramedic shortage throughout the country. There was recently a story on, out of Fort Wayne in regards to that with TRAW, which is Three Rivers Ambulance Authority, about their shortages. So it's just not us, it's everybody. Does anyone have any questions in regards to anything?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we're gonna move on down to some old business. I'll start here. We had a meeting, a public hearing a couple weeks ago about looking at some potential one-way streets. We said from the very beginning, we were just presenting the idea. We wanted to listen to public input on that. We were not making a decision, and we're not going to. So we're just going to listen to what the public said, and we're not going to pursue the one-way street idea. So that is what we said we wanted to do, was listen, and that's what we did. I want to talk about the sale of the land. It did sell, the farm ground up there, north of the old Visjon plant. The highest projected amount was $380,000, and we received $710,000. So that money is going to redevelopment and to be used to help redevelopment commission reinvest that money so we can help some businesses and get things going here. That is exactly what we told the Riverboat Committee, their fund, who gave us the money to buy the land. Was that in the 90s, I believe? I think it was Max Ellison was mayor when that happened. I don't remember. I think it was in the 90s. And they were good with that, so that's what we're doing with that money. So it is going to redevelopment. That's a huge blessing to help redevelopment get a kickstart on doing some things. So we're excited about that. Does anyone else have any old business before I move on? Move on to miscellaneous business. Tomorrow night, after city council airs, at 8 o'clock, the State of the City will be on TV3. I did not do it live this year because I did not know what the COVID restrictions were going to be, and I just wasn't comfortable gathering in the studio with a lot of people. So we pre-recorded it, and he's going to play it Tuesday night. So be watching for that. It'll be tomorrow night at 8 o'clock after city council airs. So be watching for that. And also, I haven't confirmed this, but I saw it online today, where the Spartan bowling team advances to semi-state. Jenny, can you confirm that? Have you seen that?
Yes.
It did? Okay.
Yeah.
I was trying to get information on that. I couldn't find it. I saw something today. So I'm proud of our bowling team. We're going to leave the Spartan Pride banner up out in front of City Hall. I'll leave all my Spartan stuff up, and this Friday will be Spartan Friday to support the bowling team as they advance to semi-state. So awesome. I tell you what, we've had with COVID and everything, our athletes have just performed phenomenal this year. I mean, it is unbelievable. And we're, as a community, we're so proud of our kids, and they don't think they understand. I hope they do, the pride that brings the community. And it's not just one team; it's several individuals and several teams. So let's lift our kids up, and let's make Spartan Friday. Just wear your Spartan gear, decorate everything, and support our bowling team. Anybody else have any miscellaneous business?
I do, and this is, I think it's visitindiana.com. There is and it can be voted on. I think you can only vote once a day on the best high school gym in Indiana. And everybody, I think they can vote once per day, and we need to do that because I think we're right in there on the
I
competition.
think we were in the lead again,
Oh,
last I saw.
yeah, that would be great, but just I encourage everybody to check out Visit Indiana, it's all lowercase, visitindiana.com. And I think it's called Hoops Havens, which of these 68 high school gyms is Indiana's best. So let's, you know what we can do when we try here in Connersville.
Absolutely.
And and I would like to congratulate the boys basketball team for a fantastic year. They were not supposed to progress past the first game in the regional, and they almost took the regional.
Oh, yeah.
So we're so proud of them, and I'm really excited for the next couple of years. I think they're gonna be great. You know a little bit about that, Tommy.
Oh, yeah.
And then also, I saw, and I apologize, I don't have that, but Conkle's Drive-In was on a list, and I'll find it because I saved it, was on a list of the best 8 or 9 or 10 restaurants, nostalgic type restaurants in Indiana. So we're getting some recognition there, and we're working on getting more, but there are a couple things I wanted to bring to everybody's attention. But be sure and vote on that Indiana high school gyms. We want to beat Newcastle.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Anybody else?
All I want to do is add to what Mayor Frank said. Obviously, I went around a few days ago, actually probably a month ago, and looked at the sidewalk, not sidewalks, but the alleys, and made a list, presented it. I asked, they also asked me to look at some material to repair this stuff with, and I did that. Also was asked to do 30 priority projects for the alleys and that. I think I probably got a little bit more than that. But they were handed to the mayor and Brad today, so that's where we're at, so everybody knows what we're doing.
Thank you, Clarence. Thank you.
We're bringing Daryl back in, by the way. I talked about this in the State of the City, but we're bringing Mr. Powell back in to work with the crews to train them again. We trained them for 1 day last year. That's not enough.
Right.
So that's why we're picking the alleys. The alleys are in bad shape. They haven't been done well. We picked some really bad ones. But once they learn to do alleys, then we can move on to other streets. But Daryl's going to work with them. We're going to do more so they can get back in the training mode because, I've done concrete my whole life. It's not something you're going to pick up in 1 day. Asphalt, I know nothing about. I know the basics. That's about it. So it's good to have someone who can train everyone and just keep walking through the process. So that's where this come into play is we need to assess the alleys and see which ones were worst to best, and Clarence did that. So appreciate the time he put into that. Took a lot of time, I know.
No problem.
Anyone else?
Sorry, Brian.
You were there first, that's all.
He did ask.
I did ask.
Okay, move on to the public forum. Is anyone from the public? I can't see out there, but I'm sure anyone from the public has anything to say. If not, I'll take a motion for adjournment.
Second.
Got a motion second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Thank you very much.